Cleveland.
Our phone operators are standing by with their thumbs up their asses, waiting for you to call. So call.
Call the Alan Cox Show. 216-578-1007 or 1-800-348-1007.
Weird. Like, you can't, if you're a venue, you can't just book bands and get them in there and not know anything about them. I mean, you don't have to have their Wikipedia page memorized, but you got to kind of know the fan base that's going to be coming in there, and those people like to dress up.
Right, and what's the difference
They
between...
like to look like the people on stage.
Yeah, and what's the difference between people that paint their face like they're in the band Ghost and the people that put on so much makeup that they look like a Kardashian? It's about the same amount of makeup.
Yeah, maybe.
It's different, though.
I know I paint my face for Steely Dan because when I go, I want to look exactly like Donald Fagen.
Do you paint it so it looks like your eyes are open?
I paint. I
paints
close my
eyes on his eyelids.
I
Yeah.
paint eyes on my eyelids.
That's what Gwen does.
Yeah, she sure does. I go, honey, you haven't blinked once. And then she opens her eye. Oh, God. No, I'll put age makeup on, so I'll
you
look
look
about
even
the same
older,
age as
yeah.
Donald Fagen, yes. Guardians avoid the sweep in Tampa. 9-2 was the final yesterday. That's the third of three. They're going to play a two-game series down in Cincinnati against the Reds tomorrow and Wednesday before they come back to host the Detroit Tigers in a stunning bit of bad timing. Speaking of the Tampa Bay Rays, they have a guy down there who is in a bit of trouble. A guy named Wander Franco. You ever heard of Wander Franco?
I heard about him today.
There's apparently there were some tweets going around that and he's a big deal for the Tampa Bay Rays, but he's their shortstop. And some people are already saying that this is a career killer because there were tweets that were sent out that were claiming that he was dating a 14-year-old. He's 22. Images of the alleged girlfriend surfaced online.
How do you even meet a 14-year-old?
Huh?
Like...
How could you stand? Well, I think the photos, and they block out her face, but the photos, like from the waist down or the neck down, she don't look like a 14-year-old. And that's the problem, too.
Gross.
Well, you know what I mean, though? A lot of girls are walking, and this is the defense that these guys use. It's as old as time. She didn't look like, she told me she was 18, and if you were just to look at him, you go, well, if you're a guy who doesn't ask a lot of questions, you're going to go, yeah, he doesn't look 14 to me. He looks 18. Anyway, so, but again, it was terrible, terrible timing because the Tampa Bay Rays promotion last night was Wander Franco ball cap night for kids 14 and under.
Oh, no. All of his perspectives. It's so he can spot them.
So there is...
That's what it is.
There is a promo person or a public relations person with the Tampa Bay Rays who's like getting ready to throw a rope over around their neck.
And he just signed... The Rays have him under contract for 11 years.
Yeah, he's a big deal with them.
Yeah.
So the story is that he was...
almost long enough for him to date himself.
Well, so he's 22. He's a young guy himself. But the story that was going around is that he was dating her before she was 13, and he was 17, but that math doesn't work out right. That would have been 5 years ago. Before she was 13. Well, maybe. Jesus. Both families agreed to the relationship, and he stopped messing with her once he turned 18 and said he wasn't going to see her until she turned 18. So if all that's true, it's not illegal. It's just a really gross, I mean, that's one of those things where not illegal, but in the court of public opinion, it's a really, really bad thing. And so he didn't go to San Francisco with the team where the Rays are playing the Giants starting tonight. The team says that they're doing their due diligence into the Wander Franco case. Here's Kevin Cash talking after the loss to the Guardians yesterday in Tampa.
With Zach Eflin and the Guardians kind of jumping out to that early lead and then just tacking. Now, what were you seeing, first of all, from Eflin to start the game?
Here's the Wander Franco
Certainly,
thing.
You know, you look at his numbers.
He's so inefficient, I guess, long innings. Usually he's...
Yeah, long at bats.
Oh, I thought it was about Wander Franco. Anyway, So, yeah. But the promo last night, Wander Franco ball cap night for kids 14 and under. Oh, that's pretty good.
That's horrible.
That's pretty good. Wasn't Kevin Cash the dude that turned the Red Sox around? He's the main guy there now at the Rays?
No.
I thought he was the
that
big
was
name that
Brian
got-
Cashman, I thought.
Oh, Brian Cashman. Okay. Must be thinking of somebody else. Wander Franco is trending. And you don't want to be the internet's main character, and that's what Wander Franco is today.
No, you do not.
Right. So they're from the Dominican Republic, and the text messages or the chats or whatever are alleging that he said he wouldn't go back there until she turned 18. So it may just be a series of photos or something that are just
I don't know. There's
popping
one-
up now.
I just found one where he's kissing her on the cheek and she's making like a kissy face like this is, and they're like pretty cozy together. Like they've been around each other.
They do things differently down in the DR, man. Right? Down there in God, what's the big place in
Punta
Dominican?
Cana.
Punta Cana.
I got very sick when I went there.
Yeah.
Throwing up.
Very sick in Punta Cana.
Yeah, I went with my ex's family for an all-inclusive
That's not what made you sick.
resort. No, it was an all-inclusive resort, and I had never been to one. And I don't remember drinking any water. I'm like, maybe I might have opened my mouth in the shower or something. But we were only there for 5 days, 4 days and 5 nights, however the math works out. 5 days, 4 nights, I don't know.
Yep.
But on the second day, I threw up for 24 hours until it was like just bile coming out of me. And then so I stayed in the room for like a day and a half. And then my last night there, I was like, I'm so sick, I can't eat anything. So I ate like buttered noodles for dinner that night.
Oh, I love that.
Like a toddler.
Yeah, for real. But it
that's
was
still a good meal.
Huh?
I like buttered noodles.
Really?
Buttered noodles are great, but it wasn't a fantastic
But it's not a vacation.
experience.
Yeah, it's not a vacation meal.
I got like the first day we got there, and then the full next day I had a fun all-inclusive vacation, and then I was sick the next 2 days.
Wow.
So that sucked.
Do they have good buttered noodles in Punta Cana?
Yeah, they took me to like a weird, because my ex's mom was like, you got to go see like the doctor that's on site, and it was like a weird,
It's a
like
medicine man.
closet. Yeah, they take you to like
a
this.
medicine man. It's the
a
Dominican
voodoo.
Republic. It's not the 1600s.
He has like some incense lit. He's like, all right, child, lay down.
Well,
These
they
are
barely
ayahuasca.
spoke
That's why you're
English.
vomiting. You drank ayahuasca.
They barely spoke any English, so they like gave me essentially Zofran for like the nausea, and were like, "Let us know if it gets any worse," because they don't want to get sued or anything, you know.
Right.
But yeah, that's it. That's my only Dominican.
They
story.
gave you saffron.
No Zofran. Saffron's very expensive. They're not handing that
I'm
out.
just
In the
mad about
Dominican
saffron.
Republic. Yeah, I'm wild about saffron. All right, so they gave you an anti-nausea medication, and that stopped it all
Well, I
to
had
start coming
already-
out the other end.
It was all out both ends. I was
Oh,
severely
God.
dehydrated and super weak and tired. So it was like it all already came out anyway. The Zofran kind of just made me a little sleepy.
So they're so used to people getting sick that they have Zofran on hand,
Yeah.
which is a chemo drug.
Well, they use it for like morning sickness for pregnant women and stuff too. I used to take it for hangovers. I had a friend who was a doctor.
Jesus.
I might get in trouble for this. I had a friend who was a doctor who wrote me a
Say his name.
prescription. I'm not going to say their name. Wrote me a prescription for Zofran because I was so consistently nauseous from hangovers.
Mary had never heard of Pedialyte, so the doctor gave her Zofran.
That doesn't help with.
When you're dehydrated.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't help with nausea.
No, but you're just trying to get hydrated, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, Mary went a little harder than needing just Pedialyte. She
Yeah.
needed that
So,
next level.
She really
Needed
did.
an IV.
All right, well,
in a meeting.
give up your friend now that everybody knows you were script
No,
shopping.
I can't. He doesn't actually live in this state anymore.
But we
so.
know he's very convenient. I wondered why. Alan, what's Mary's buttered noodle recipe? Oh,
What do you think?
butter? Don't tell me.
First, you want to start with a
Butter?
can. No,
And noodles,
can of crushed tomatoes
butter and noodles,
and salt.
crushed tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Crushed tomatoes.
Yeah.
This isn't buttered noodles. You're making spaghetti.
No, I'm making buttered noodles.
I thought
you
buttered
start-
noodles was. I've made buttered noodles for my daughter. It's noodles and butter.
No, you start with a can of crushed tomatoes and you drain that.
I start or you start?
You start.
Okay.
You start with a can of crushed tomatoes. You drain it directly into your throat. Chug it.
Oh, so just the tomato juice.
Nope. Chug it. Chug the crushed
You
tomatoes.
said you drain it.
Drain it down your gullet.
Right, so I'm draining the juice out.
You're draining it all.
So I have a colander on my face.
Yes.
I'm pouring a can of crushed tomatoes.
Into the colander through your throat.
Not whole tomatoes.
Crushed.
Crushed.
So
All
that
right.
way the juices are good.
Are you brand loyal, or should I just go for
I like a hunt.
a hunt?
Whatever you like.
Yeah.
Whatever you're
Yeah,
into.
all right. I gotcha.
And then once you vomit that up, butter noodles, a
Yeah.
little bit of salt. There you go.
Oh, so I need to lay the groundwork in my own throat first with
Yes.
the tomato juice.
Acidic.
What do I do with the tomatoes that have been rendered dry now?
That you have puked?
No.
Oh, in the
In
colander?
the colander, what do I do with the leftover tomatoes?
Plant them and grow a magic beanstalk.
So beans come from tomatoes?
You're following me, right?
Wow, I really
Magic beans, stupid.
So the magic
Follow
beans.
along. That's why they're magic.
I mean, my cantaloupes are growing in the backyard, but I planted cantaloupe seeds for those.
Well, you
Well, that's where you went
should
wrong.
have planted cantaloupes.
Wow. Okay. Ellen Mary has said many times that her doctor friend lives in Atlanta.
I never said that.
Oh. Well,
That
now
person-
they're, yeah.
That
Hey,
person listens too close.
they really, really do. You know how Poundcake doesn't listen at all? This person lives really, really closely.
They listen to every word.
Oh, boy. All right, so.
What if I have more than one doctor friend?
Uh-huh.
Highly unlikely.
Yep. Shouldn't be hard now to find a male doctor in Atlanta.
Right.
Narrow it down.
That's funny.
Uh-huh. Well, there it is.
Well, don't find him because he'll lose his job, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they need doctors. He's not going to lose his job.
Can you lose your job for that? Giving someone a
of
prescription?
course you can,
What if I
yes.
needed it, though?
Well, there's, I
You
mean,
got to go by the book, ma'am. You can't just like be all willingly, oh, she's my friend. I know she's good for it.
well,
She
no,
just
but
hung over.
doctors all the time write scripts for people and under semi-legitimate auspices. But I mean, if you were going in over and over and over again and he was doing that.
No, he wrote me one prescription for like 100 of them.
Oh, well, that's not, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a legit thing.
It was like, yeah, I think it was like 90 of them with a refill or something like that. It was a lot.
Mm-hmm. You
I
still
always
have any?
had, no.
Mm.
Dude, are you kidding me? I was blacking out 4 nights a week.
Oh, no.
The thing lasted me like 4 months.
Oh, wow. Hey, I need more of these.
Do you know how my belly not hurting anymore? Because I have $4 worth of Taco Bell.
4 or 40?
40.
I was going to say, even 4 can get you a lot.
No, we cannot.
Not these days.
Not anymore.
Dude, when
You
did
get
I?
maybe 2
you know,
items.
last time I went to Taco Bell and I hadn't had it for a long time. Last time I went to Taco Bell was on the way home from Buzzard Fest,
We went on the way home from Nickelback.
and I get what I usually get, and it was like twice as much.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Man, you're lucky. This sucks," because I'm hungry
Yeah.
and I just want to go home. But I had a hankering for T-Bell, and I hadn't had it in a while.
We went on the way home from Nickelback. That was Brian's treat because I was like, all right, I'll pay for everything the night of
little
if you come to
treat.
this. Yeah. So we got Nickelback on the way home. We got Taco Bell on the way home. We spent like $35. I got a Crunchwrap meal and a pop and a little cinnamon twist. Big fan of the cinnamon twist. He gets his veggie burritos and pintos and cheese and every other thing. And I was like, dude, it was expensive for Taco Bell. I mean, it's
Yeah.
good, but it's not $30 good.
Yeah. Anytime you want to leave us messages, you can. Voicemails at our after hours line, 216-986-8903.
Hey, Alan, it's Matt. You're talking about leagues. A league is a measure of distance under the ocean, as in horizontally. It's not depth. And there's a Saturday Night Live sketch about this with, I believe, Kelsey Grammer and Phil Hartman, where the entire premise of the bit is 20,000 leagues under the sea, and they're talking about how deep it is. And he's like, no, it's a measure of distance underwater, horizontally, not up and down.
See, I thought 20,000 leagues under the sea referred to depth.
Yeah,
I had no
I
idea
think that's
what
what
it
we all
meant.
thought. We
Wow.
should have watched that sketch.
This is the surface, and the Nautilus is 200 fathoms below. Then how far down are we?
20,000 leagues under the sea.
Why do you keep saying that?
Well, because before you said we were 20,000 leagues.
I know what I said. But that doesn't mean you have to keep saying it. Where are we? 20,000 leagues under the sea. What day is it? 20,000 leagues under the sea. What's for breakfast? 20,000 leagues under the sea.
Mm-hmm. Kelsey Grammer, along with Phil Hartman in that sketch.
Oh.
Rob Schneider, Mike Myers. Okay, so it's It's horizontal, but under the water.
Yes.
Like, okay.
Like a lap.
You got to be
in a
underwater.
pool.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Bill, that's why a long time ago, the American League in the United States was the swim team.
Go to break.
I've got to take a break, and not a minute too soon. My timing is just as good as Wander Franco's ball cap night for fans 14 and under. It's 35192 to text in here, and we'll be back.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app.
Or whatever smart device you have.
Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio.